What's the biggest changes that the two of you have had to make through your time, and it may be more than one thing, through your time as you've gone through the process and nearly 40 years, what are the big changes you've had to make in the job?
In the job itself is actually a lot of the people that I used to rely on are no longer coaching. My connections at different universities, that has changed dramatically. The combine itself, the way scouting has moved forward and progressed, has made actually my job easier. When we first started, the films were shot on the sideline. It was all black and white and you had one copy. And if you got there late and the film was broken or there was 12 plays missing,
Too bad.
too bad. Mistakes are made in the draft when things aren't properly evaluated or the information that you receive is not accurate. I think there are people that have an ability to evaluate and there's some that are better than others, but it's a level playing field now.
And he's right, and
Thank you.
for once, the evaluation has always been at the very core. And there's been so many things that have happened to the game, the media, and you got fans in the combine, and there's so many opinions on what we do now from every outlet.
Well, anybody can do your job,
Anyway,
right?
right, and so you
Buy
can
a ticket.
easily get distracted from the thing that matters the most. In a room, watching the film, evaluating that guy correctly. There's a lot of noise out there. You get distracted by, well, everybody likes this guy. Your focus has to be even greater. Yeah, the film's better, and we get more access, but it really comes down to evaluate the guy correctly and don't sway from that. And there might be somebody that has a different opinion, but if you did everything you needed to do and you say, I got him, then don't let what you hear, that's hard. That's different now. That is big.
You have to understand one thing, and Brandon can attest to this. When you walk away from a school, there are times you go, I know exactly how I feel on this guy. And the majority of times you want that feeling, and you will not get swayed from that. Now, it may be the middle of the year, it may be even early in the year, but what hurts a lot of people nowadays is just the social media. And there are times you will leave a school, and we used to tell scouts, don't leave until you have a firm commitment in your mind. Well, that's easy to say, but when you hit 50 schools a year, whatever that number may be, there's times when you go, I've got to go back to this player. Or there are times when you say, I know I like him, I just don't know how much I like him. That commitment has to be sound in your mind in order for you to carry on with the draft. And sometimes that's not always easy.
Is that the number one thing you had to learn in this job?
There was, kind of alluding to what you're saying, there's time limits. Most schools you can get there maybe 7, maybe 8 o'clock, but you have a specific amount of time to where you have to get all of this information that we're talking about compiled and have a good feeling. And then, like Phil said, a lot of times that's just not the case. You have to go back and call people again. You have to send out more emails. You have to just do a variety of different things. And I think, from the standpoint of what Tim was saying with the noise and the social media, I grew up with all of that. And so it's easy to check, whatever outlet and say, oh, okay, they think that guy's a first rounder. And then that kind of be embedded in your mind as you're sitting there in the film room, watching the tape and saying, oh no, but he's a first rounder. No, you need to evaluate that and what do you think?